Green Lantern Corps #1, written by Peter J. Tomasi, art by Fernando Pasarin. If Green Lantern, adjectiveless, goes with Hal Jordan, and a book we'll get to later goes with Kyle Rayner, this one follows the rest of the Green Lanterns. Guy Gardner, John Stewart, the Corps, as is obvious by the title. So, just getting into it. We open in Space Sector 3599. There's some criminal there they trapped and who's threatening. And this is some random Green Lanterns, by the way. I don't even think they get a name. But a criminal's just threatening them, telling him how he's going to get out and kill them. And then all of a sudden he gets real quiet. And the Green Lanterns look and see that he's been split in half. They realize there's an intruder. They start scanning. One of the Green Lanterns gets decapitated. The other one turns around, gets their ring hand caught by some glowing green glove. They seem surprised at whoever they see. And then they're cut in half. And then their ring finger is also cut off. And it goes to fly and find a replacement. And the only thing that the whatever it is says is, where there is a force of will, there is a force of destiny. I don't know who this is, and they don't tell us for the rest of the issue, so that's our villain probably for the arc. Anyway, we get cut to Earth. Guy Gardner is in a planetarium, just wasting some time. He gets a reminder on his ring that he's late for an interview. He's getting a job interview to be a high school football coach, because Space Cop doesn't pay the Earth bills. So he arrives, and people are just, like, all the teachers are there just asking him a bunch of questions, like, how do the Green Lanterns work? What's the freakiest alien you ever met? What's your favorite sports teams? And he answers them all. He's very kind and forthgoing, but he's trying to get into the interview. Finally, he gets in there. I'm assuming this is the principal that he's talking to. And he's sitting down. He's trying to get the job. He's saying how much it's a good fit for him. But the principal basically stops him dead and is just like, look, You're a space cop. You are a superhero, and you want to work around children. You don't see how that's super dangerous for the children? Like, you're qualified, but no. And he's like, okay, yeah, sorry to waste your time. Cut to John Stewart. He's an architect. He's showing off a building via the constructs in his ring, while also simultaneously explaining how the constructs work for the benefit of the people there and totally not for the audience in general. And they're like, look, John, this is great, but you're like really over budget because of all these extra safety features you're putting in that we technically don't need to put in. And he's like, well, we're kind of in the age of superheroes, and maybe we should be putting in the extra safety for people who buy these places because they want to have a home. And he's like, right, but we don't technically need to put it in, right? So John builds the skyscraper construct. He brings them up to the top. He essentially threatens them, accuses them of taking bribes, puts them into a construct elevator, slams them back down to the ground, and then flies off saying even a Green Lantern can't fight City Hall. So that was an eventful day. Cut to this planet Narrow, same sector as before. It's a water planet that it's inhabited entirely by, as I can only describe them as, naked mole rats crossed with squids. Anyway, this whirlpool opens up. It starts sucking them all in. There's this full page of them just holding on for dear life. Cut back to Earth, or at least near Earth orbit. Guy and John are sitting on a satellite. Guy's like, man, why didn't we wear masks? Why didn't we have secret identities like the other guys? Like, we could still be able to live a life on Earth, but like, we could be anywhere in the sector and still protect Earth. Why are we still trying to fit in here? And John's like, it's not a matter of we can or can't fit in. It's a matter of, did we ever really want to? So they take a moment of contemplation. Then they fly off towards Oa, home of the Green Lanterns. The dude in charge, his name is Salak. And I say in charge, he's just running all the computers. Like, he's like flight control, I guess. He sees them coming, I guess, specifically Guy, and is like, oh, joy. He wonders why they're not in their sector. Guys are like, there are 4 lanterns. That's overkill. He's like, well, Hal's not really a lantern, but I see your point. They question about all these dead lanterns in Sector 3599. And he's like, well, we went to send replacements to, or we got news that they died, so we sent 2 people to investigate. They also died, so now we're sending a special team. And the guys are like, cool, we'll help out because we've got nothing better to do right now. So they join this special team to go investigate the water planet, last known location of these guys. But it's not a water planet anymore. It's a big dirt ball, and they realize this is weird. Somebody has stolen the oceans of a water planet. Not only that, they murdered the entire race that inhabited the planet and skewered the 2 Green Lanterns to send a message to them. End of issue. I really like this book. I really, really do. I really like how Tomasi handled the writing. That moment where they're just sitting and contemplating on the satellite, looking down on Earth. It's such a nice little moment. I like the way he worked the exposition in, where they're explaining it to the people, but it's in a way that flows. It's in a way that works. It's not strictly for the audience. I like that. The art throughout, very good. I've never got confused as to what's happening at any point. It's all very clear. Might be a little bit of stock style, but honestly, it feels different enough. It feels just a little bit of extra touch is something that feels good. I'm honestly going to give this one 8.5. If you really twist my arm, I could probably go to 9, honestly. But I'm going to stick with 8.5 just because it is still more of a setup issue. But I mean, what bigger stakes could you set up than the death of an entire planet? That's pretty good stakes to set up. And I like how they've already made me attached to Guy and John because they've shown me where their principles lie and how they feel deep on the inside, not just some surface level crap. So no, I'm really digging this. I don't know how it fits in with Jeff Johns' whole Master Green Lantern plan, but frankly, I don't care. I like this book on its own. So yeah, 8.5 from me. Definitely check it out if you haven't.